Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So, I want to talk about burdens and blessings, right? Burdens and blessings. So, I was doing a coaching session a little over a week or so ago, and something became really apparent. As we're talking and trying to figure out, how do you move from step A to B to C to whatever the case is? How do you move along those lines as you're trying to accomplish, trying to be successful and accomplish the things you want to accomplish in life? You're trying to accomplish your goals. And a lot of times, people misunderstand. I've come to realize what is actually blocking someone from achieving their blessings. The obvious answer would be, well, what's blocking you from achieving your blessings might be that you have fear, right? You're very fearful of embarking on a new journey and trying something new, and that is true. Some people might be nervous about going back to school or going to school for the first time to get a college degree if they haven't done that before, or starting a business because they've never done that before. And so a lot of times people are really nervous when it comes to that sort of stuff because they're about to do something new, right? They're about to do something new. But that is not the only thing that holds people back. It's not the only thing that holds us back. And so I had a discussion, and as we're working through issues that this person has to deal with, and all that sort of stuff, I realized that what really holds us back a lot of times is the burdens that we carry, right? The stuff that we carry on our shoulders, right? We're really carrying it in our minds. It's the burdens that we're carrying in our head, the things that we're carrying in our minds. Those are the things that really, really hold us back. So that's what I want to discuss today. Before I get into it, please don't forget to subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave your comments, turn on your post notifications, and then don't forget to hit the like button and share. Those things help the channel grow, and so I'll really appreciate it if you do that. So you have to ask yourself, what are the burdens that are holding you back? What are the things that are holding you back? Because as I said, it's not always the fear of what we're hoping to move into. It's not the fear of I want to go to school or I want to start a business or anything like that that's actually holding us back. It's actually the stuff that we're carrying on our shoulders and our back that's weighing us down, that we're not allowed to move forward. Okay, so what might be some of those things, right? Well, it could be, I've talked to people who, and obviously I'm not going to call any names, but who have had to deal with sexual abuse in the past. And so they've never quite been able to get past the fact that they were sexually abused, they were raped, or whatever the situation is. They've not been able to move past that situation. And so they could never get to their blessings because they can't get past what has happened to them. And now, don't get me wrong, those are difficult things to move beyond. It's not like just saying, oh, let me just forget, what happened to me. But, or it could be a situation where it's, they've been in bad relationships, right? And if you've been in a bad relationship, that might be something that could really just hamper you from moving on. And so it becomes really difficult for you to find love and to be able to find that kind of happiness with someone else, because what happens is, you've been so battered, not necessarily physically, right? But just battered mentally, drained, verbally just used and abused, right? And you're tired, and you've given up hope, and you feel like, you gave someone your all, or you put your everything into a situation, and all that you got in return was hurt and was disappointment, and it has left you completely disillusioned. You feel like life has just not been fair to you. There are a lot of people that feel that life is just not, it hasn't been fair to me. And so, how do, every time I turn this way or I turn that way, it feels like I'm walking into headwinds that just keep just blowing away all of the progress that you make. It's people feel that way. Some people feel like as they're making progress in their life, they keep stumbling into some headwinds, and those headwinds just keep blowing all the progress that they've made away. It's really common for you to feel that. It's really, really common. And so, what you have to do is, and it's not easy, but you have to make the conscious decision that whatever you are carrying, whatever burdens you're carrying, and burdens are holding you back mentally. And that's because we succeed because we're mentally strong, not because we're necessarily smart, right? We succeed because we're mentally strong, not because we're necessarily so smart. Yes, if you're very articulate, or you're very, your IQ, so to speak, is off the charts or whatever the case is, yes, you might be really brilliant at getting some things done. But even people who are really considered gifted aren't always really that successful because they don't have the diligence and the determination, the dedication to be able to persevere to be successful at the things that they want to be successful at. So we don't achieve things necessarily because of our brilliance, it's because of our dedication. And what happens is when we're so burdened with things and we can't really see the future, because what happens is the past is just clouding. It clouds every step that we take forward. Every time you feel like you're moving forward, or you feel like you're making some progress, the past is haunting you. The past keeps like it's pulling you back. It's happening to a lot of people. And that's why you see some people will self-sabotage, right? That's why some people would self-sabotage, and that it's because of them not being able to get past the fact that maybe they were touched by a family member, or uncle, or whatever the case is, and they have not been able to shake that, and so it's hard maybe for them to really be intimate in a relationship because they were introduced to sex in a very, I guess you could say, derogatory type of way, in a very mean, hurtful type of way. And so it's very difficult for some people to be able to equate sex with happiness and pleasure because sex first brought them discomfort and pain. And so it's difficult for them to be able to mesh it now as they get older, and now they're in relationships, and then of course sex plays such a huge role in a relationship, and that's one way someone's burdens might be holding them back from the blessing of having a really good relationship with someone, right? And so you have to really look at the different areas where things might be holding you back in your life. You got to do that reflection, right? You got to and you got to forgive yourself too. You really have to forgive yourself. It's so easy to say, well, I allowed myself to be used, and I allowed myself to be this, and I allowed myself to be. We've all done stupid things, whether it's in relationships. We've made stupid decisions, where it's when it comes to our careers. We've all done something that when we look back and we think about it, it was like, oh man, that was really dumb of me to do that in the first place. But if I keep on dwelling on the dumb stuff I did, and instead of just hopefully learning from it and moving forward, but if I just hang on to it and I keep thinking about the dumb stuff I did, then it can hold me back. And so that's one of the biggest things I see when I do coaching. I do a lot of coaching sessions, and that's one of the things I see when I do these coaching sessions, is a lot of people being held back by their burdens, the things that they have not been able to shake, right? Some things that they may have caused themselves, right? Some situations, things they're not proud of and happy of, things that they didn't do that make them proud, but also things that were done to them as well. And until you're able to move past that, that's why I say for a lot of people, it's your burdens that are blocking your blessings. And look, it's easy to run around and pretend to be happy. You know, sometimes if people ask us, how are you doing? You say, oh, I'm okay, you know, so and so. And yes, I'm not saying you go tell everybody your business or whatever the case is, but until you work on yourself, until you really confront you, then you can't be the best you, because you can't run from you. So you have to deal with you. You got to deal with yourself. You've got to deal with everything that's inside, because you can't run from yourself. It don't matter. You could change zip codes. You can change countries. You can. It doesn't matter. You could have plastic surgery. You can, you know, Botox. You can have facial surgeries. You can go to the gym and work out and change your body and all that type of stuff. And yeah, that might help with your confidence and all that. But there's some of the wealthiest people with the best bodies, with the best this, with the best photogenic faces, with the, I mean, you name it, and they're not happy. That is a lot of times because there's stuff on the internal that needs to be dealt with. And until you deal with that, ain't no money and ain't nobody could bring you the true happiness and joy that you seek in your life if you don't do the things necessary to change you, because you cannot run from yourself. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. You know, a lot of times what's holding us back is our burdens. So I want to encourage you to work on yourself. If you need to, you know, talk to somebody, find somebody to talk to. Right? If you want to do it on this channel, then I welcome it as well. For anyone who wants to do like a Zoom interview or whatever the case is, and you want to share, you have a story to share so that other people, you know, might be able to be blessed because they can learn from what you've been through. Well, let's do that as well. I'm open to doing interviews, and we can do something by Zoom. Just contact me and we can do that. All right. So don't forget to subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Let me know how you have been able to, not just me, but anyone else who's watching the channel and watches the videos. Let them know what you did to be able to overcome the burdens that were holding you back. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications, because I said I post almost every single day. Also, don't forget to share and like. Those two things help the channel grow. I really appreciate it if you do that. So thank you for taking the time to watch, and until next time, peace.